Hey, what's up guys? It's Pete here with MixBetterNow.com, and today I want to talk about using parallel compression, but specifically on your vocals. But before we get into it, please do me a favor. Please hit subscribe, please hit like, and please click on the link in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. Go ahead and sign up for the email list. When you do, I will send you my free swag bag full of all kinds of free stuff like free multi-track sessions, free mix templates, free drum samples, free Bricasti reverb impulse responses, all kinds of cool stuff. So please take advantage of it. All right. I have a session pulled open here in Pro Tools. Now, this video is going to be a bit different than the last video I did on parallel compression on your drums. The last time I had gone ahead and already set up the buses, I had set up the routing, set up the compressors, and basically was doing a lot of bypassing stuff in and out so you could hear what the parallel compression was doing to the drums. But what we're going to do here differently is we're going to start from scratch. I'm going to open 2 new buses, and I'm going to set up the routing, and I'm going to choose the compressors and show you guys how I do it. This will be helpful, you know, if you're maybe new to parallel compression, or if you haven't done it before and you want to see somebody actually go through the steps. I'm sure this will be helpful. So I just wanted to do something a little bit different. Okay, so the reason that I want to use parallel compression here on this session is parallel compression is essentially taking one signal that is either uncompressed or lightly compressed, and then what we're going to do is we're going to heavily compress that same signal, and then we're going to blend the two together. Now, the reason we're going to do this is parallel compression can add all kinds of amazing things, can add size, warmth, fatness. It can really make the vocals sound larger than life. And that's why I have this session pulled open here. I had a client send me some verses that they rapped. They're both MCs. We have 2 different vocalists, and we have 3 verses over a stereo beat or a stereo 2-track. They did all this in their studio. They had done the beat, they printed it to a stereo file, and then they went ahead and recorded the vocals. So they sent it to me to mix the vocals in with the beat. And I figured parallel compression is exactly what we need. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to play a little bit of this for you so you can hear what we got going on, and then we'll go ahead and set up our parallel compression. All right, here we go.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page, another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family. I'm up early in the AM, rises waking, making eggs and toast with the jam, coffee, cream, sugar man, envelope with the stamp, check in the mail, money goes to school, food, gas, clothes, and bills.
All right, so as you can see, I have there's 2 tracks for each vocalist. So Ryan's in purple and Danny is in the green here. We have a lead vocal and then a stack vocal or an ad-lib, commonly used in hip-hop, to supplement the lead vocal. I've already gone ahead and I've done my EQ and a little bit of compression on each vocal, and we have some effect sends going on. We're using a little bit of reverb and delay. So now it's time to go ahead and set up our parallel compression buses. I'm in Pro Tools, so they are called auxiliary sends or aux inputs. But if you're using something like Logic or Studio One, they are called buses. So in Pro Tools here, we're going to hit Shift-Command-N to pull up the new track menu. I'm going to hit 2 because we want 2 stereo aux inputs or buses. And then I'm going to hold Command and hit the right arrow for stereo. And then I'm going to still hold Command and hit down for aux inputs. So we're going to pull up 2 auxiliary sends or 2 buses. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to solo safe our buses. I'm going to hit Command and click on the solo button. I'm going to drag this in place, and we're going to want to name our tracks. So right click and rename. I'm going to call the first one RP comp because it's Ryan, and the second one is going to be D for Danny. Doesn't matter what you call it. Just matters what you have it labeled as, so you can find your way around and stay organized in your session. Okay, call this one DP comp. Cool. So now we need to set up the in and the out But before I do that, I just want to point out that I have the lead and the stack going to a vocal bus here. So these are both being sent to the Ryan Vox bus. And the same thing with Danny's verse is the lead and the stack are going to the Danny vocal bus. Now, I am going to send both parallel compression buses to the vocal bus to Ryan's and Danny's as well. Now, some people might go ahead and set the output to the mix bus, or send all the effects to an all effects bus. But the reason I want to do that here is because when it comes time to automate the vocal, I tend to do my vocal automation last. So I like to do that on one fader. And the idea is very simple, is that by sending everything to the vocal bus, I can then, take one fader and ride that for my automation towards the end of my mix. So that's why I do it that way. If you'd rather not, that's fine. But just know that if you don't send it there and you bring the level down, you're going to hear the parallel compression wash in the background, just like you would with any of your other effect sends. But that's what we're going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to the Ryan Vox bus. And we're going to send this one down here to the Danny Vox bus. Now for the inputs, we're going to find some vacant buses. So I'm going to go 4344. And then here I'm going to go 4546. Now, it's important that we rename these. You don't have to rename them. I see plenty of guys mixing that leave their buses numbered. I like to name them because it makes it easier, especially in large sessions where I'm using lots of buses. You get lots of different numbers. It's hard to remember what everything is. So here, I like to name them. And very simply, I just name them exactly what the track is. So RP comp. And then down here, we're going to go DP comp. And I'm going to color the tracks. We'll go no color, just so they're black so they can contrast and you can see them. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start with the first verse here, and I'm going to solo up the vocals, and I'm just going to listen for a minute. Now, the reason I want to listen is because I want to actively, consciously pick which compressor I'm going to use. Now, if you don't have a lot of compressors to choose from, then your job's easy. You use whatever compressor you have. It doesn't matter what compressor you use in terms of, it has to be an optical compressor or it has to be a FET compressor. That's not super important. What I think is important here is the tonality of the compressor. When doing things in parallel, we're really going to hear the overall tone and the character that the compressor imparts or sounds like. It's just something that you can hear a little bit easier than if you were doing compression directly on the track. So, for example, if you had a very, very bright vocal, something that I probably would avoid using would be like a Blue Stripe 1176, just because the 1176s have very fast attack and releases, so they're very grabby, and the Blue Stripes are a little bit brighter, I think, than the black faces. So that's just my opinion, of course, but whatever you like the sound of or have, by all means, go ahead and use it. So the first thing I'm going to do is, again, like I said, I'm going to listen, and I'm thinking already that I might go with something like a DBX 160. It's a VCA style compressor, and it's a great place to start it as a fast attack, a fast release. Not a whole lot of knobs, but let's listen.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page, another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family.
All right, so I definitely want to go with the DBX 160. Now, if this doesn't work, we can try something else in here, but I definitely use the 160 a lot, so I know what it sounds like and I know what it can do. I'm going to set the ratio high, so I'm going to start with something like a 12-to-1 ratio. Whenever I do parallel compression, I always use a very high ratio, 10-to-1, 12-to-1, 15-to-1, something like that, just because we want to get some very extreme compression going on. We're going to be blending that back in with the uncompressed or the lightly compressed signal. Now, the other thing we need to do is we need to set up our sends here from the vocal track. So what I'm going to do is, since we have labeled our buses, it's easy to find in the drop down. So we're going to go RP comp, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to unity. I like setting my send to unity or 0, and I like to get the level from the fader on the parallel compression bus. Okay, so I'm going to copy this down to the stack. That way we have our send set up. Now we're going to see our level here in the bus and the fader.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page.
And the level of the vocal increases because we're sending that vocal to another bus. So we basically have 2 signals that we're sending. So now we have to dial our compression in.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page.
And the way that the DBX 160 works is we have a threshold knob here, a compression knob, and then an output gain. So we turn our threshold down. We determine how much compression we want to do by setting our ratio, then setting our threshold. So, and then we set our output gain to taste.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family.
So I'm going pretty aggressively here. I'm going to be doing anywhere between 10 to 20 dB of compression for the 2 vocal tracks. Again, we're at a 12-to-1 ratio.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family. I'm up early in the AM, rises waking, making eggs and toast with the jam, coffee, cream, sugar, man.
And so we're going to level match with our output gain here. And then what we're going to do is, once we have the compression in the spot that we have it, the tone is good, it's the compressor that we want to use, then we're going to set our level with the fader here.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out.
So obviously there we have no compression in the signal, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently massage or ride up the fader back in to get the amount of that heavily compressed signal that we want with the uncompressed or the lightly compressed signal.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man.
So maybe a little bit more. Now here's where I want to unsolo it, and I want to do this in the context of the mix because that's what matters. That's where we're going to really be hearing it. So let's go ahead and check it out.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage, but nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family. I'm up early in the AM, rises waking, making eggs and toast.
So right there, I feel like that's a good level. I have it set to around -8. And what I'm also going to do here is I'm going to add some EQ behind it because I just want to enhance some of the mids and some of the highs. This is a concept very similar to if you wanted to EQ after a reverb send or after a delay send, if you wanted to do some filtering. The reason I want to EQ this is because by adding some mids or adding some high end, we are going to be able to get some of that boost in terms of the overall EQ of the vocal. It's not going to be as apparent and as direct as if we had it on the track, but we're going to be doing a little bit of it in parallel behind the compressor. So I'm going to reach for something that I like to boost with that I think is a little bit what I call a vibey compressor, something that might have a transformer or some tubes in it. And let's go ahead and grab the API 550A. What I'm going to do is just kind of go with a frequency that I know might sound good. We can start with something like 3K here and maybe like a 10K shelf. I'm just going to be boosting these in and out while I'm playing this so I can hear it, and then we'll go ahead and level match with the output knob right here.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage. The days I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family. I'm up early in the AM, rises waking, making eggs and toast with the jam, coffee, cream.
I don't know if you guys can hear that. In solo, it's a little bit easier. I'll go ahead and boost this.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage. But nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed.
So you can really hear the EQ working. Like I said, it's not as extreme as if you had it on the track, but since it's in parallel, we can be a little bit more aggressive with it.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage. But nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family. I'm up early in the AM, rises waking, making eggs and toast with the jam, coffee, cream, sugar, man. Envelope with the stamp, check in the mail, money goes to school, food, gas, clothes, and bills.
Let's try it on the other verse.
Check the phrase, back in the days I paid for ways to fade reality. Anything to not see the real me. It's a shame what we think when the media fix the drink.
True.
Feel the pain when I breathe, stay on the knees we pay for.
Okay, cool. So now when I bypass the compression in and out the bus, you're really going to be able to hear it.
Check the phrase, back in the days I paid for ways to fade reality. Anything to not see the real me. It's a shame what we think when the media fix the drink.
True.
Feel the pain when I breathe, stay on the knees we pay for the thieves. Please pray for the thieves, change how they see.
Cool. All right, so I really like the weight that this is adding to the vocal. It's making it just sound a little bit bigger, beefier, a little bit larger, and it's perfect in a situation like this where the vocal is absolutely the most important element of our mix. Now, I just want to go ahead and set the level here via our bus, our vocal bus, because all of these three tracks are coming down here to this yellow vocal bus, and I can kind of readjust the level because we're adding more level into this bus with the parallel compression. So let's go ahead and do that.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage. But nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family. I'm up early in the AM, rises waking, making eggs and toast with the jam, coffee, cream, sugar, man. Envelope with the stamp, check in the mail, money goes to school, food, gas, clothes, and bills. Throw it back to the days when I used to rage. But nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family.
Cool. So I'm really digging the way that sounds. I'm just going to bypass this in and out one more time to make sure it's at the level we want it.
Throw it back to the days when I used to rage. But nowadays I'm chilling out on another page. Another chapter, another book library. Times has changed, I'm a man of family. I'm up early in the AM, rises waking, making eggs and toast with the jam, coffee, cream, sugar, man. Envelope.
Awesome. So like I said, I like what that's doing here. Now let's go ahead and pop down to Danny's vocal. We'll take a listen.
The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food. And I'm a backpacking back of the black actor. Me around the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel it cause it's hopeful. That's right.
All right, so the first thing that I'm hearing is his vocal has a bit of presence in it, you know, some of that 1K, 2K, 3K kind of being pushed forward a bit. So again, I don't want to go with a very bright compressor. I'm probably going to pick something that I know I can kind of warm up his vocal with a bit, you know, because we're gonna be beefing it up. We're gonna be adding that punch and that weight, but I wanna be able to control it a little bit. So I'm gonna grab the UAD Fatso. We'll go with the Fatso Senior. Now, I tend to use this a lot. I love this compressor on a lot of things, but in parallel, it's fantastic. So the idea of this compressor, for you guys who haven't seen it or used it, is we have, this is kind of like a combination of a tape emulation, a tape saturation plugin with a compressor. This plugin version has attack and release settings on the bottom, as well as a sidechain or a high-pass filter, which is great. So the harder we drive this, the more compression we get, and then we can level match with our output. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to light up all three of these buttons here, and that way we have the spank setting on, giving us a higher ratio. Okay, I'm going to push this button in, which is going to activate the transformer emulation in this, and set our attack and release times. I'm going to use the fastest attack and the fastest release. And I'm going to not bother with the sidechain in this. So let's go ahead and get our level. But before we can do that, we have to set up our sends here. So we're going to go ahead and send the bus to DP-comp, option click to Unity, and option drag for copy. Cool. So now we could set our compression level.
The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food. Woo! And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel it cause it's hopeful. That's right.
Okay, I'm just gonna loop this so we can dial it in.
And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel it cause it's hopeful. That's right. And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper.
Okay, now the other reason that I picked this compressor is for this warmth function right here. So you can click it on, and one click will be the most tame, the least warm of all of them. So you can really dial it in, and when it's in the red, that will give it a whole lot of warmth. So I'm going to leave it out for now, and then once we bring the track in and get our level, if I feel like we need it, we can add it. You know, it's great having things, you know, there if we need it. If we don't, we just leave it alone. I might even bypass the transformer. It just all depends. But when it's in parallel, it's going to be a lot less. The overall amount of what you do is going to be less than if it was on the track. So that's the beauty of it, is nothing is as drastic. It's always blending. You know, we think of it that way. Gonna unsolo these now, and let's go ahead and get our amount of parallel compression we're gonna do by setting our volume here. Sorry, let me start back here.
The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food. And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel it cause it's hopeful. That's right. The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food. And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel it cause it's hopeful. That's right.
Okay, one more time.
The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food. And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel it cause it's hopeful.
Okay, I'm going to solo it, and you can hear it in and out. I don't think I'm going to EQ this one because I really like the way that the compressor sounds. I'm not feeling like I'm wanting any more low end, or I don't feel like we need to add any high end, because what this is doing is this is essentially taming that presence that I wanted to kind of take care of, why I picked this compressor.
The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food.
So really love the way that sounds. And I think around -8 on the volume here sounds good.
The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food. And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel it cause it's hopeful.
Awesome. I think that is a good spot. Let's go ahead and check Ryan's second verse.
Check the phrase, back in the days I paid for ways to fade reality. Anything to not see the real me. It's a shame what we think when the media fix the drink. True. Feel the pain when I breathe.
Okay, and Danny's verse.
The cup half full, life mixed in Red Bull. I change, no change, the media's a cesspool. The best tool is my brain that bring the best food. And I'm a backpacking back of the black Acura. Me and Round the rise of every whack rapper. Real soulful, you feel is hopeful.
That's right.
Awesome. So yeah, so I'm just adjusting again the overall level of the 2 vocal tracks and the parallel compression going into this bus with the 1 fader. That way, when it comes time to automate these vocals, everything's said and done. I like to do my automating at the end, and I can just kind of write my automation passes on 1 fader. You know, it's a great idea to try and get everything down to as little amounts of faders possible, especially the bigger the session, the less faders we can use, the easier it becomes to manage overall. So, all right, so that is using parallel compression on some vocals. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you got something from it. Now, every session is different, every scenario is different, but this is the general idea of how I set up these buses, how I implement the compression with the vocal tracks and the parallel chain, send it all to the same bus, and that seems to work well for me. So, you know, go ahead and experiment, try different things, try different compressors. You know, if you're new to this, you'll be amazed at how different using different compressors will sound in parallel. You know, and throw some EQ on the back end, throw some EQ before it, you know, just always constantly experiment, because I think you'll be surprised at just how much leeway there is overall. So, okay, that's it for me. My name is Pete from mixbetternow.com. If you guys haven't already, please do me a favor. Please hit subscribe, please hit like, and click on the link, sign up for the email list. I will send you my free swag bag full of all kinds of free goodies. I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, I'll catch you next time, and I hope you have a great day.